From the National Newsroom of the Canadian Press, I'm Naira Ahmed. The Premier of Prince Edward Island has resigned. Dennis King says he will also resign as leader of the Progressive Conservative Party, effective tomorrow at noon local time. He says the looming trade war with the U.S. also weighed on his mind.
That's a job that's going to be every minute of every day for the next 4 years. And I guess to be candid with you and with Islanders, that I think when you decide you're not running again, that means you have started to look toward the exit.
The 53-year-old says the decision is in the best interest of his family, the government, and the people of PEI, noting he is in good health. Meanwhile, more duties and additional tariffs piled onto Canadian softwood lumber would absolutely be devastating for the country's industry. That's according to BC's Forest Minister Ravi Parmar, who expects the U.S. to issue anti-dumping duties tomorrow, after U.S. President Donald Trump said his administration was eyeing a 25% tariff on lumber sometime around April. Parmar says the extra tariffs are very likely, and Canada should take Trump at his word. The federal government is listing 7 transnational criminal organizations as terrorist entities under the criminal code to fight fentanyl trafficking.
The move is the latest federal measure to bolster security in response to American criticism. U.S. President Donald Trump has threatened to impose widespread tariffs on Canadian products, citing the southbound flow of illegal migrants and drugs, including fentanyl. U.S. Border Patrol statistics show less than 1% of fentanyl seized is found at the northern border, but Canadian officials have expressed a willingness to do more to fight the deadly synthetic opioid. John Kennedy, The Canadian Press.
Ottawa also announced it is increasing the number of refugees it plans to resettle as a result of Sudan's civil war. The changes could see 7,000 more people reach Canada through various programs. All 21 people taken to hospital after a fiery plane crash at Canada's largest airport have now been released. Delta Airlines gave an update this morning as officials work to reopen 2 runways at Toronto's Pearson Airport. Federal Heritage Minister Pascal St-Onge has a plan to modernize the mandate of CBC and Radio Canada. That includes barring the public broadcaster from running ads during news programming and from charging subscription fees for digital products such as CBC Gem. In turn, the government would increase the public broadcaster's funding and make it more stable. And 2 arch rivals are set to battle tonight in the Four Nations Face-Off Final in Boston. Both hockey and political tensions are high as Canada takes on the United States, with Donald Trump suggesting again this morning that Canada could become the 51st state. Trump showcased his support for the U.S. team in a social media post, also referring to Prime Minister Justin Trudeau as governor once again. This is the Canadian Press. In sports, the Four Nations Face-Off Final is tonight in Boston as Canada faces the United States. The Americans won the first matchup 3-1 in Montreal in the preliminary round, with 3 fights taking place in the first 9 seconds of the game. Meanwhile, the Ottawa Charge hosts the Boston Fleet in Professional Women's Hockey League action. The race for the 3 Pool B playoff spots at the Scotties Tournament of Hearts is going down to the wire. Manitoba's Carrie Anerson, Ontario's Danielle Inglis, and Nova Scotia's Christina Black are atop Pool B at 5-2 with a game to play, while Quebec's Laurie Senzors finished at 5-3. Montreal's Felix Auger-Aliassime has advanced to the semifinals of the Qatar Open Tennis Tournament despite playing only 1 complete match in Doha. And Canadians Piper Gillis and Paul Poirier lead American ice dance world champions Madison Chook and Evan Bates by a point following the rhythm dance at the Four Continents figure skating event in Seoul, South Korea. From the Canadian Press, I'm Naira Ahmed.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. For more of today's top stories, visit thecanadianpressnews.ca.